So we're going to continue with step 11 now. Now they want us to just go over these buttons here just to expand and collapse. And for Allen, we're going to collapse it. So now that information has disappeared. And then they want us to go down here for the last one and we'll collapse that also. So now we're going to move over to number 12. We're going to go back to this very first worksheet, which is paste and projected. And we're going to select this range here and drag it down to the very bottom. Once it's selected to our quick analysis buttons, we're going to click on this, select tables, and then we want to go over to this fourth option for a pivot table. Now a pivot table is data that's linked, that we have the capability with all these different fields to drag and move around to change the appearance. Now I'm not going to get into that into detail now, but we will get into that more in detail in chapter 6 and with our final project. Now our set of instructions over top of the sheet 2, we want to double click and we're going to rename it as pivot table. Press enter to accept that change. And that's all in 12F. Now we're in 12G and they want us to, you see this month down here, the bottom right hand corner, they want us to drag that off so we can take that away from our report. So we want to remove that. Now we're going to go to number 13. And number 13, you can see these numbers have not been formatting. However, we can't go to the Home tab and use this number group. Whenever we're working with our pivot table, you have to stay right here within our pivot table tools. Now, if you're on the Analyze tab, there's the command button, but we could right-click and access that same command button right here. It's the field settings. Once that's open, we're going to click on number format. And once that opens, try it again. Once that opens, we're going to click on the number category, and they want us to check this box so there's a comma, and they want this taken down to 0 decimal places. And I'll select OK and OK, and you can see now how that number appearance has changed. Now we're going to apply the same settings over here in this column. We're going to highlight by clicking on D4, activating that cell, right-click, select Value Field Settings. We're going to click on number format, click on number category, check our box, and then we're going to reduce our decimal places down to 0. Select OK and OK, and it has now been applied to that. Now if you notice, if you click outside your table, all that disappears. Make sure you're within your table whenever you're applying any type of changes to your pivot table. Now we're going to go over to the Design tab, and now we're going to apply one of our pivot table styles. I'm going to open up that entire gallery, and if you look at the bottom of the page for number 13, they want us to go down to this medium category, and they want us to go to style number 9. So there's pivot style medium number 9. So I'm going to click on that, and they also, for style purposes, they want us to turn on the banded rows and the banded columns. And you can see that just adds some lines here. And I apologize, they want us not the medium, they want us to go down to the dark. So they want the dark number 9. So where's that? Here it is, the dark number 9. That's the style we're going to apply. Okay, so now when we check these boxes, that was just 13, J, and K. That was just including these border lines. Okay, so now we're going to go down to number 14, and we're going to create a pivot chart. When we create a pivot chart, you're not going to go down here to these charts. You're going to stay here on the pivot tools, and if you go to the Analyze tab, here's your pivot chart button. The style they want us to include is the bar, and they want, if I'm going to go over to this second one here, they want the stack bar. So I'm going to select OK, and there it is. Now it's going to ask you to reposition it, so I'm just going to decrease this, and they want the top corner in A12. And then they want you to take it over to J30. So I'm going to drag it over to J, and then I'm going to take it down to row 30. Now my corner is in J30. Let me take that in just a tiny bit. Okay, now that I have my table in position, oops, that's a little bit too large. Let me blow this up a little bit more. Okay, now that I have this in position, I'm going to go to number 14F. And they want me to, now I'm on my pivot table charts, or pivot chart tools, And I'm going to go to the Design tab because we're going to apply a style. And the style they want us to apply is number 8, which is right here. And they also want us to change the color. And I'm going to go down here, and this is called color 5. So it starts to look like that. Now going to 14I, they want us to deselect the number of employees. That means go over here and click on it. So that's now has been removed from the chart by clicking on this box. So we deselected it. Flip it over to the next page. Our set of instructions is number 15, and we're going to go ahead and skip that. So all you need to do now is just save it, upload it, and see if you have any errors. I kind of rushed through that, so I apologize if I missed a step, but I think I pretty much got them all. Best of luck.